Alright guys, back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth. Last episode was we finally finished case number 3, learning the secret of the haunted house, and successfully making sure we didn't die. And this time, we're going back to another flashback, I think. Oh boy, turnabout reminiscence. Yeah. Unfortunately, the hard part is, I think it's another, I think this is where we meet Kay for the first time. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? Alright. Episode 4, Turnabout Reminiscence. Kay Faraday. The young lady he calls herself the second Yatagarasu. This piece of cloth that she conjured up has taken me back many years ago. Let's see what happens. 7 years earlier, this is like, with the judge. Damn, you could see the judge. Oh, what the defense attorney? Yeah, that's right. I did it. I killed the guy. But it was the great thief Yatagarasu that told me to do it. I asked the defendant to just... What are you doing? Don't you get it? I know the truth of Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is the man standing over there at the prosecutor's bench. Are you saying that I'm the Yatagarasu? Don't you dare deny it. You told me to kill him when you snuck onto the embassy. I don't see no crowd. Why is there a crowd? Are you claiming that Miss Faraday is the Yatagarasu? Don't be so stupid! Mr. Rail, I think we heard enough about you. Your Honor, please listen to me. I'm telling the truth. You gotta believe me! Oh boy. This is already an autoplay disaster. Okay. I couldn't keep up with the... In accordance with the defendant's accusation, new prosecutor shall be called to replace Mr. Faraday. This court will be in recess until the new prosecutor is ready. New prosecutor, huh? September 10th, 3:20 p.m. District Court, 3rd floor. You could see his old attire from around the case with Mia in the third game. This is a throwback. It's almost time for me to enter the courtroom. And so it is my first assignment as a prosecutor and will be. As a replacement for the prosecutor who has been accused by the defendant. Edgeworth. Oh, that's him. Oh. Sir. Have you read over the documents regarding this trial? Yes, sir. I memorized everything there is to know. Very good. The paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is just about complete. Edgeworth, always bear in mind that as your mentor, I, Manfred von Karma, will accept nothing short of perfection. I understand, sir. To have the chance to stand in court in an early stage in my career, I am very honored and proud. As I have watched over your studies, I am giving you this very rare chance. Prove yourself. Crush the defendant's pathetic lies into oblivion. Yes, sir. Okay. Such a legendary prosecutor will be watching and judging my performance. I have to be very perfect in every way. Okay. It means we got our chance to investigate. Today's trial should have ended in just 1 minute. Because the defendant was picked up by the security camera, correct? Exactly. The killer had the gall to say that he only killed because he was instructed to do so. Even more outrageous is his claim that the case prosecutor, Baron Faraday, gave the order. Baron Faraday? Huh! Faraday is such a fool. He's been cornered by his very own prey. Sir, are you acquainted to Mr. Baron Faraday? He is a pathetic man who speaks nothing but nonsense. Nonsense? He once tried to explain me in a way to punishing those who cannot be brought to court. Those cannot be brought to court, huh? That is nonsense, for no man is above the law. Well, there are always a few exceptions. However, there is no reason to deal with such individuals. A prosecutor is a guardian of the court, no one with obligation to outside matters. Thus, there is no reason to with such individuals, I see. Edgeworth, disgracing yourself as Faraday will not be forgiven. Have no fear, I will not let you down, sir. In place of the accused, Prosecutor Baron Faraday, I will prove the defendant's guilt. Very good, I've secured an hour of recess for you, to prepare to do just that. Show them all the power of a Von Karma. So have you achieved a firm understanding of the case? Yes, sir. I have memorized everything that is written down in the case files. Well then, explain the case to me. I want to see if you really know what you are talking about. Understood. Okay. A murder was committed on September 8 in front of the Caldolphian embassy. The victim, Mr. Deadman, was the staff of the member of the embassy. The defendant in this case, Mr. Mackrell, was held for questioning on the night of the incident as he was deemed suspicious. He was quickly placed under arrest for the possession of a murder weapon, the gun. Furthermore, at the time of the murder, the great thief Yatagarasu had successfully infiltrated the Caldolphian embassy as well. At first, Rel claimed that he himself was the Yatagarasu, but that he did not kill Mr. Deadman. I wonder if he expected to gain what he expected to gain for such a desperate lie. It is possible that he wants to go down that route, while in the spotlight if he is found guilty. There truly is no limit to the people's inanity. But I digress. Continue, Edgeworth. Yes, sir. During the trial, the prosecution presented the security footage that captured the murder. The footage clearly showed Mr. Rell as the murderer. You can't really tell by the footage alone. The act of Mr. Rell firing the gun could be clearly seen from the visitor's gallery. On seeing that, the defendant retracted his statement and admitted to the murder. I did it because I was told to. By the real Yatagarasu, Baron Faraday. That sounds about right. However, if you've forgotten one important thing. While this may appear to be simply a murder of the Caldolphian embassy staff member, people are actually referring it to the second KG-8 incident. What the? Another KG-8 incident? The second KG-8 incident? I'm very sorry, sir. I fear I failed to study hard enough. Well, even among the police, it is important information that it's only a select few are privy to. Would you please enlighten me, sir? The second KG-8 incident? What is that? Sir, what do you mean by the second KG-8 incident? In order for me to tell you that, you must first learn about the original case. Take a look at these documents. This is a 3-year-old newspaper. I received them from my mentor. I need to read that. You have heard of the Amano Group scandal before, correct? Yes, I have. The secretary of Ernest Amano, Amano Group's director, was arrested. Ernest Amano was being, in this. And under suspicion of smuggling. Correct. CCL was an employee of the Amano Group, and the sole witness to the smuggling operation. It was she who brought the light to crime. However, Miss Yu was silenced before she could testify in court. Wasn't a Colombian embassy staff member arrested for the murder? Yes. A Colombian by the name of Manny Cochin was the suspect. However, due to the lack of evidence, the case went unresolved. Lack of evidence? Nani? Huh. If only I was in charge of the case. I would have done everything in my power to prove his guilt. Make sure that all the criminals are found guilty. My mentor really is dedicated. Faraday was the prosecutor on the case then, and he was pathetic as ever. Mr. Faraday was in charge of the KG-8 incident as well? That's right. And now once again, the victim in the case you're currently assigned to was someone who was scheduled to testify against that smuggling organization. And just like that last time, the victim was murdered right before he was to testify. You're catching on. The victim was murdered just before his day in court against the smuggling organization. Events are occurring almost exactly the same way they did in the KG-8 incident. So that's why it's being called the KG-8 incident? Yes. Yet there is one difference between the two incidents. What would that be? The so-called noble thief that is sending everyone into an uproar. The great thief Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu? I better find out more. Damn, that's a lot. If it's true that the Yatagarasu showed up at the Kodium embassy, what could he or she have been after? No doubt to steal any suspicion accounting records and release them publicly. Or more likely to steal secrets from the Kodium embassy itself. Since the item was that the Yatagarasu stole from there was sent to the police. What was it that the Yatagarasu sent to the police? I do not know the details, but anything related to the Yatagarasu is getting the top secret treatment. Still, I very find it ironic. By returning the stolen item to the police, it was proof that the positive that the Yatagarasu had infiltrated the embassy on the same day the staff member was killed. Criminals have a way of incriminating themselves, wouldn't you say? That would be the first time the Yatagarasu left evidence behind, correct? That is indeed. If you wish to learn more about the Yatagarasu, then I suggest you ask Faraday. Mr. Faraday. He happens to be the prosecutor in charge of the Yatagarasu case as well. He is a prosecutor in charge of both the KG-8 incident and the Yatagarasu case? Mr. Faraday really has a lot on his plate. Oh, is that? What is it, little girl? Is that little K?
You're scary, mister.
Good. Did you need something?
I want to trade these coins with you.
A fistful of dimes, quarters, and pennies, but it looks like you exactly $1. Is this what you want?
Little Faye. Thanks, that's exactly what I needed.
Could that child be here to watch the trial? How disrespectful for a child to be running around inside the courthouse. Does no one have any respect for this country's judicial system anymore? No? I mean, it's the US of A, so... Paperwork for the prosecutor's substitution is complete. Why you? Do you even know how much time there is left before the trial resumes? I am very sorry. I can have you mopping up this courthouse instead of protecting it in an instant. It's no bother, sir. Not being completely prepared could prove to be a perfect handicap for me. A proud one you are. You had better collect the evidence from Faraday and prepare yourself. It's time for your debut, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, then. September 10th, 4 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Are we the defense? Oh, or we're the prosecutor? Oh, because we are prosecutor. Just what is going on? Why isn't Faraday here yet? How is it possible that the defense is not prepared yet either? Bailiff, where's Mr. Faraday? I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention. You are fired. Butt scratching. Oh, it's the judge. Whoa, the judge is back. Oh, you must be the one Miss von Karma recommended. I hear this will be your first trial. I look forward to seeing how you perform. Oh, by the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during a recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. Sir, it looks like the trial's about to resume, however. Yes, it will be all but impossible to prove the witness is but a liar. Without the evidence from Faraday. What is that bastard buffoon up to? It's an emergency, sirs! Gumshoe? I like how he knocked the guy. Silence! There shall be no yelling in this sacred hall of law. Bailiff, remove that man from the courtroom at once. Please, wait, you have to listen to me. There's an emergency. Defendant lobby number 2, Mr. Faraday and the defendant. The two of them, they're both dead, Your Honor. What? Nani? Nani? They're all dead? Already? That was quick. Holy shit. What the fuck? They're dead already? That was completely left field. Stay back. Who is this guy? No one's allowed on the crime scene, period. Just who does this oddball think he is? This is becoming quite the hot spot. Isn't she Mr. Rel's defense attorney? Hey you, no running in the hallway, pal. And who are you to tell me what to do? I'll never find out what's going on like this. It's time for some civil discourse. Oh boy. Excuse me, but who are you? Name's Detective Tyro Bad. Homicide. I was informed of the situation and came as quickly as possible. So how did you arrive and inspect the body before me? Faraday requested for you to testify in the trial. Plain and simple. Mr. Faraday requested that you be here. Who is this guy? I've already contacted HQ about the situation. I've got nothing to say to you, kid. Kid? I'm Mr. Faraday's substitute in today's trial. Therefore, I must insist that you update me on the situation. I can't back down here. I have a right to know. Do I need to tell you teach you a thing or two about how to talk to adults, kid? Is he threatening me? Is he going for his gun? Oh shit. Oh, it's just a mirror. How dare he trick me like that? Faraday was stabbed to death with some kind of blade. And he had a gun in his hand, too. The other man, Mr. Macrell, was shot and killed. He was found holding a bloody knife in his hand. Was there anyone else who went to the defendant? No, lobby number 2. Yeah, that big lug over there. His name is Gumshoe. Oh, no. He was in charge of guarding the place. He's claiming that no one else entered the room. If that's the case, then they must have killed each other, correct? Maybe. Such impudence. This guy is really testing my patience. Huh. Why was I not informed that you were going to testify in court? Homicides aren't my only gig. The Yatagarasu case is also one of my assignments. So you were caught upon the comment on Yatagarasu's characteristics. In order to assess if Mr. Faraday was really the Yatagarasu or not. Well. Looks like you might have a brain after all in that head of yours, son. Son? I'm not your son, Pops.
I have a badge. Let me see this. Codiopian Sapper, Manny Coachman found not guilty. Victim CCU. Shadow over the Malaga. What's his relation to the smuggling ring? And we got a lot of profiles. Manfred von Karma, 60 years old. Burned Faraday, stabbed to death with knife. Dead man was gunned down in front of the embassy by Rel. Dead man? Oh no, guess he's dead. Man. So we got two different kinds of murder cases, huh? Dead man? Burned Faraday? And Macrel. Killed by knife, killed by handgun. Mule identity is unknown, but claims to be a thief noble infiltrated the embassy, Yatagarasu. Question mark, I believe that's K. Here with the recess, she's question mark 8. The judge, Tyrell Bad, ego homicide detective, was called in as an expert witness in the Yatagarasu case. Cool. I present you my prosecutor's badge, but first, this badge is designed to reflect the relentlessness and discipline of law enforcement. It comes from the authority vested as strict prosecutors of the law, and executors of sentences like a harsh winter frost and blazing summer days. To wear this, I identify oneself as a prosecutor, but my mentor has taught me that it's more than fashionable to keep in my pocket. Each prosecutor badge is engraved with the number of its own on the back. Numbers, as if we're not human up in the inside like everyone else. Does showing the elf make you feel like a big, strong prosecutor? Oh, of course not. I was simply proving my title of prosecutor to you. I see. But most prosecutors don't go around flaunting those things. It's like a detective walking around outside with his badge flashing in the sunlight. Show that off too much, and before you know it, you'll be elbow deep in angry criminals. That would definitely be a big problem. How about you? Do you have a minute? You know, I'm not really into talking to people. I don't know. Especially at a time like this.
I apologize for not introducing myself before bothering you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I was to take Mr. Faraday's place in court.
Edgeworth, huh? I never heard of you. I'm gonna use that voice. So Faraday's substitute is a newbie, huh?
I'll have you know, madam, that I study under Manfred von Karma. Do not take me for some naive novice.
Oh no.
Question mark?
Do not take me some naive novice. So you're a student of the Von Karmas. Or should have. Those clothes are a dead giveaway.
Well, stop right there. Those are the garments of one who gallantly presents the facts.
Thank you for the great laugh, but try not to make me laugh so much, okay?
I wasn't trying to do anything of the sort.
Haha, just kidding. I was just goofing around. Oh my god, this girl. And by the way, do you know who I am? My name is Callisto Yu. And if you're not telling the truth, then we are about to go head to head in court.
Oh, but of course, I've heard so much about you, Miss Yu. Psh.
But of course I have heard so much about you. You're a regular Shakespeare.
Did I say something funny? I present my badge. It is a shame that we will not be able to face each other. It was my first trial, too.
Oh, was that a declaration of war? How nice it to be young and carefree. And what a nice, squeaky clean badge you've got yourself there. I'm jealous.
I'm sure its gleam will dull over with time and experience.
Psh, are you saying your reputation will also tarnish over time with it?
That's not what I meant.
Psh. Well, you can't just avoid some things in life, you know.
I'll never allow my badge or reputation to become tarnished. I'd like to update me on the situation.
I don't really know anything. Why don't you try talking to those detectives over there?
If that's the case, then why are you here? What the hell is so funny?
It's just that the way you speak is so tactless. That person I was going against in court until only a little while ago was just murdered. It's not like I could go back into the courtroom pretending as though nothing happened.
That's actually a good point. Huh? I apologize for asking such an insensitive question.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
Oh, you gumshoe. And you are. Who, me? Hey, pal. Oh boy, not him again. Do we have to introduce yourself again? It's common courtesy to tell someone your name first before asking theirs.
If you guys hear some loud background noise, my brother's playing Xenoblade 3, if you guys wondering. But anyway, let's keep going.
Point taken. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a district prosecutor. A prosecutor? I've never seen a young prosecutor as you, pal. I've told you my name, now would you mind telling me yours? Detective Dick Gumshoe! Just recently I achieved my dream of becoming a detective. More than a dream, it's what I was born to do. Wait, maybe I should check and make sure I'm not really in some crazy dream first. This detective is entirely too excited to be at a murder scene.
Alright, just tell us about the crime scene, young Gumshoe.
So, Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling me what you know about the incident? You know I don't have to tell you anything, right? I know that. But it would behoove you to fill me in with what you know. Well, you're a proud one for such a youngster, aren't you? Well, anyway, Detective Bad is the one in charge. So you're just gonna have to ask him for all the details, okay? As for me, I was guarding the door to the defendant lobby number 2.
There's a courtyard. That means there's like 2 windows.
So you were on guard detail as well. Did you notice anything strange while you were on duty? Well, I freaked out when I heard a gunshot and then I kind of froze. You're a detective and a measly gunshot scared you that much. Then again, I could hardly claim to not know what it's like to hear one at close range. Then Detective Bad became running to their scene. We went into lobby number 2 together and both men were lying there dead. Is that everything? Yeah, that's it. I was in the hallway the whole time, but I didn't hear a single peep of a struggle. Interesting. Other than the gunshot, he didn't hear a single sound of commotion.
Didn't hear a sign of struggle. Okay. Miss you! There's someone who wants us wishing to see you! Who is it? I called up an embassy staff member by the name of Manny Cochin. What?
What's going on? What's going on? I just said that! Detective Bad and Miss Yu's moods just change all of a sudden. Wait a second. Wasn't Manny Cochin
not found not guilty? I'll be right there.
It's nice to see you again, Miss Yu.
Why are you here? I have no desire to ever see you again. Now, I actually wouldn't mind to step outside for a brief chat. Fine, let's go.
Bad. Von Karma, it's been a long time. I knew you would show up eventually. You would all what you usually do when the Yatagrasu is involved, and I see this case as no exception. Do you know Detective Bad, sir? Yes. He's like an old bloodhound that never leaves the scene of a crime. If only he would get a promotion and move on. It's the crime scene where the detective is most useful and effective. It's not like I don't know that. Moving on though, Bad, the man I just passed by. Was he not the suspect from the KG8 incident? So I was right. Just what is that man doing wandering around here? That Faraday. I can't believe he let such an easy catch get away. Imbecile. I would have proved his guilt in just 3 minutes. Von Karma, I think you have said enough for now. It's in poor taste to speak like that about the departed. Very well then. Back on topic, I'm placing Edgeworth in charge of the investigation here.
Objection!
Huh? Objection?
Oh, it's young Karma, Von Karma. Papa, how could you place him in charge?
Franziska, what are you doing here?
I'm here for the summer vacation. What else?
Young, I think she's like 13 or 12. Franziska von Karma, so she is here on vacation from Germany. She is the daughter of Manfred von Karma and a student of his, who is also a junior to me.
You're the one who's junior to me, and don't you forget it.
She read my thoughts. You're not conveniently avoiding the bar examination, are you?
Huh. If you were to pass, I would absolutely have no trouble at all. I would never allow myself to lose to you, never.
Why does she always have to be this competitive?
Anyway, Papa, are you really going to be assigning Mr. Miles Edgeworth to cover the case?
Yes, I am. Why do you ask?
Well, you know, I'm close to becoming a prosecutor, myself. And I'm 100% confident I can do a better job than him.
That's just like Franziska. She has no problem badmouthing someone right in front of them. Bad. Yeah. These two will be conducting the investigation. Nani? I didn't get paid enough for this. You ought to let both of these kids loose on the crime scene. Huh. That is a perfect opportunity for them to work on their prosecutorial skills. A crime scene is not a place for children to be messing around in. I'm the one with the authority over this crime scene, Bad. And I will not tolerate complaining. Edgeworth, Franziska, did I leave this case to the two of you? Understood, sir.
Yes, Papa.
I'll go take care of the paperwork now. Remember, I'll accept nothing but a perfect report from the both of you. Do not disappoint me.
Huh, so us kids are charged with the investigation, huh?
Hold up, Von Karma still haven't agreed to this.
Miles Edgeworth.
It's been quite some time, Franziska.
This will be the perfect chance for us to see which of us is truly worthy of the Von Karma name.
Would it kill you to at least say hello?
Long time no see, you baka.
Very good. Wait, what did you just say? Anyway.
Just because you became a prosecutor first doesn't mean you can act all proud.
Got whip. She hasn't changed a bit. Even though that is not a whip, it still frickin' hurts for some reason.
Miles Edgeworth, as I was saying, we shall see which one of us is the worthy of the Von Karma name.
For crying out loud, I've been reduced to babysitter. Gumshoes. Watch it. Looks like Mr. Von Karma was successful in convincing the detective. That's just like him. He never fails. Now I'd appreciate it if you could quickly run through the facts, Detective Bad. You're better off checking things out on your own. Very well then. Seems like getting help from Detective Bad will be a most arduous task.
crime scene. Wow, both of them died at the same time. I wonder, there's no blood. What the fuck? Is this the really real explanation that they killed each other simultaneously? Miles, Edgeworth, you should listen to someone until they are finished talking.
What are you talking about?
I'll only say it one more time. This is a competition to see who is truly worthy of the Von Karma name.
A competition, huh?
The person that figures out the truth first wins.
So the person who doesn't discover the truth is a dishonor to the name?
Exactly, I don't care that you became a prosecutor before me. I simply refuse to hear any more foolish things coming from out of your foolish, stupid mouth.
Fine, whatever makes you happy.
Can I take it that you're accepting my challenge?
Once again, whatever makes you happy. Even though I would like for her to stop calling me a fool, but anyway.
Well then, let the investigation begin, shall we? I'm going to find the perfect evidence and prettily present it like the professional I am.
Competing to discover the truth behind a crime. How delightfully childish.
Alright then, let's do this then.
You kids over here, hold it. Kid?
Serves you right, Miles. He just called you a kid.
I said kids, kid.
How dare you call me a kid as well?
I'll do what I please, and I won't allow you to cause a ruckus on my crime scene. Hey, big guy, you're going to watch over these two. Okay, yes, sir, Detective Bad, sir. Now, what do I do to stay on from now on, kids? Now, do what I say. Hey.
You better not get in our way, Scruffy. You'll feel the bite of my whip if you do.
Wait, then, you prosecutor boy! Wait a second, why am I scared of a little girl? Let's get your investigation started already, alright? Great. Now even that detective is treating me like a child. Alright, it's time to get investigating. Get a move on, prosecutor boy. My name is Miles Edgeworth. And if you were to call me prosecutor boy one more time, it will be my duty as a prosecutor to look into your monthly salary. No! Gumshoe! Well, Gumshoe's gonna be broke again. Oh, Nani! You can't touch my salary. I just started working. And what will you do with my salary after you saw how much it was? Then I'll reduce it to even further. That's up to you now, isn't it? Oh, really? That sounds good, pal. He's so naive. What's gonna happen to my salary? And what's gonna happen to my salary if you see my salary? I don't know.
Alright, let's do this. Yeah, a lot of investigation to do.
Detective Bad, may I have a word with you? What is it? It appears that both a knife and a gun were used by as murder weapons. Yeah, it does. That leads us to our first question of the investigation. Where did the men acquire the weapons? The gun was inside of Faraday's bag. It was a piece of evidence that was presented in the trial earlier today. It was used to kill Kohodabian Embassy staff member. But I never heard of anything about the knife. Mr. Rell was being held by the police. There's no way he could have brought it in. Which means it's possible that Faraday had the knife on him from the start as well. Could have been a piece of evidence that had yet to be presented. But then why doesn't Detective Bad know about it? Wait a second. What if? It's possible that Mr. Faraday brought the knife under the guise of prosecutorial evidence. He could have then brought it out and attacked Mr. Rell with it. Huh. Maybe you got a brain in there after all, kid. Is he going to treat me like a child forever? It looks like Mr. Faraday attacked Mr. Rell first, who then counterattacked. That's the only logical conclusion you can draw from this scene like this. Not yet. I feel that is much too early to be drawing conclusions first already. I must first find conclusive evidence to protect the honor of the Von Karma name. It's gonna be hard to figure out because whoever attacked first has to be the second victim that fell.
So him fell, and then the second one fell. That's gonna be very interesting to figure out.
There's some plastic bags stacked on the table. There's a tea set too, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of disturbance. Yeah, the table's all neat and tidy.
They're undisturbed.
Maybe they were super quiet in their scuffle. After all, I didn't hear anything from out in the hallway, you know? Maybe the plastic bags scattered on the floor are throwing us off.
Bag?
There's some stuff in the bag, pal. I suppose this is Mr. Faraday's bag. It's probably the trial evidence I was supposed to collect from him. This is the evidence? Oh, I better not touch it then. I'll leave prints on it. You just not pay attention to anything. You do. You do.
Okay. We talk to you, fucking A.
I'm so excited, pal. This is my first real crime scene. Let's get investigating and make sure we don't fuck up. Detective Gumshoe. I thought investigations were supposed to be conducted in a calm, collected manner. What do you know about running an investigation, little boy prosecutor? I know that at the very least I have a greater grasp than what happened here. Why you don't know anything more than me, pal. Look, you just stay behind me, boy, and out of the way.
Ironic coming from the guy that's been a step behind me the entire case. I think this arrogance reminds me of when Phoenix Wright started growing, and then, like, Gumshoe didn't like Phoenix Wright over time, and then, you know.
This is my first time setting foot inside the courthouse. Who would have thought it would be my first case as a detective? But you know, I get the feeling I'll be coming here a lot more in the future. You sure will do. As a suspect, a detective. Of course not, pal. I would never be a suspect. On purpose. Anyway, this lobby's actually pretty luxurious. I mean, for a defendant's lobby, it's got pretty big TV. Oh, and there's that tea set on the table over there. Bet you didn't know that I like to drink tea. Wow, this room is really decked out. If that means spending time in here, maybe being a suspect isn't a bad thing after. I'm starting to suspect that leaving this detective in charge of anything might be very bad. But he is right. This room is rather well furnished, and somewhere in this room the truth is slumbering. It's time to find it and give it a wake-up call. So, Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, what is it, boy? Gah! Of all the people to call me that, this detective is by far the least qualified. God damn it. I wanted to ask you about the investigation was proceeding. Say for yourself, pal. Do I do a great detective bad or what? Has this man not a fresher bone in his entire body? Maybe it's perhaps I should actually lower his salary. Very well, then I will inspect the victim's body myself. I present my badge. Hey, so that's a prosecutor's badge, huh? You mentioned that you've only recently become a detective, did you not? You got it, I'm a brand spanking new detective. So that means you've probably never seen a real prosecutor's badge, right? If you so happen to want to take a look, I might just make your day. You don't have to go through all the trouble, pal, because a real man has a police badge, and someday I'm going to become an ace detective, just like Detective Bad. I sincerely doubt that. Did I say something wrong, pal? Let's just return to the investigation, detective. Okay. There's a lot to go through. I love these evidence. Detective Bad, do you have any thoughts on the case? Faraday, well, it looks like they killed each other to me. Although there are a few things that just don't seem to be very right. What would they be? Why don't you try thinking on your own first before you bother me, boy? Now I've been downgraded to just boy. Damn it. What does it take to, like, wank up with these people? The window is open, and there's a fresh flowery scent in the air. Oh, the flowers in the garden are so gross and ghastly. Do you think maybe you could try offering something useful for a change? Well, at least there's no way they could escape through this window, pal. They wouldn't wake up and smell the flowers after a fall from the 3rd floor. Are you willfully ignoring the fact that there are also iron bars on the windows?
No human can climb through the barred windows. The scent of flowers is in the air.
Yeah, I guess there's that too. Either way, no one could get through these windows, right?
They thought of everything when they were designing this courthouse. Very nice. That's interesting. The barred windows. What about the other window?
Whoa! What is it, Detective Gumshoe? My TV at home is so tiny compared to this one, pal. Then perhaps you should purchase more normal-sized television like this one. Ooh, let me see here. Whoa, this thing is huge. Whoa-wee. And way too noisy.
You're the noisy one, Scruffy.
And don't touch it. You'll get your fingerprints all over it. But I didn't touch it. Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. The foundation, huh? Sounds like there's something the rookie here needs to show up on. TV has been left on. Why are you looking at me like that? It wasn't me. I didn't touch anything. Gumshoe. You do know what'll happen if you touch something again, will you? Right. I won't touch anything. I won't even go anywhere near the TV, sir. And you, get back to your investigation, alright? I was planning to do so anyway.
Ah, I see.
Did you figure something out?
This is a competition, Miles, and such. I appreciate if you didn't talk to me.
As you wish.
I guess she's really focused, huh?
It looks like Mr. Faraday fell on top of Mr. Rell. At first glance, it seems that they must have killed each other. However, using logic, the only logical conclusion is, what was that outburst for? My detective's instinct just hit me real hard. It was Mr. Rell that fell first, see? You don't need a detective's instinct for that. It's common sense. But I suppose we won't know much more than that until after I examine the bodies.
Okay.
Mr. Faraday. How ironic it for him to lose his life in a courthouse, of all places. Yeah, why did it have to be like this? I don't know what to say. I can't believe this happened while I was on watch, pal. Rather than beating yourself up, you should spend your time in continuing the investigation. Didn't become a detective in order to solve crimes. Yeah, pal. Then get back to work. Find out the cause of his murder. You're right, sir. I'm on it, pal. First, he killed a Codopian embassy staff member, and then he was murdered himself. This guy wasn't exactly an angel, you know. Oh, what makes you say that? Well, he's been hauled into the precinct several times for theft and assault, pal. So yeah, he's definitely the type that committed a murder or two. Well, he did admit to killing Mr. Deadman. Hey, good point, pal. I knew my detective's intuition was telling me something. Detective's intuition? Yep, do you know about it? It's a special feeling that all We don't have time for this conversation right now. Let us return to the investigation.
The most interesting part is gonna be how the crime scene, like, played out. Because it feels like it's one dropped and then the other.
Looks like Mr. Faraday died while holding the gun in his right hand. So he shot Mr. Rell and then fell on top of him, while still gripping onto the gun. I guess that does seem kind of strange, huh? I mean, why would Mr. Faraday know how to fire a gun? Not exactly rocket science. Even I know how to pull a trigger. Although I doubt I'll ever need to use one. I hope I never have to fire a gun, pal. But it sure does look cool. To hold a gun in your hands. It appears that the police's screening procedures need a thorough review. Anyway, I should jot down some notes about the handgun in Mr. Faraday's hand.
The knife is the other weapon.
Looks like Mr. Rell did die with the knife in his hand. There's some blood stuck on it. And then he must have used this as a weapon. Yep, no doubt about it. Was Mr. Faraday carrying this on his personage? Did he bring this as a piece of evidence for the trial? Or did he bring it with a very different intention in mind? I should jot down some notes about it. It was in Rel's hand. There's something strange. If it was a knife wound, wouldn't it just go through? Why are there plastic bags scattered all around? Those bags are for keeping evidence safe, pal. I know that much, Detective. You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy. Anyways, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between these guys? This hand was all black down here, see? I wonder what could it be? If you look closely. This blotching spatter resembles an ink skin. Ink on his left hand. Why is there ink in such a place anyway? Yeah, there's strange ink on his left hand. An ink stain? Yes, I usually get ink on my phone hand when I use my feather pen. A feather pen? I've never seen one of those before. You sure you aren't just making it up, pal? Mr. Rel's cause of death was being shot, correct? That's what we think, but it's hard to tell with him lying face down. Death is bad enough, but it's truly lamentable that someone would try to hide the truth. Are you sure they weren't trying to hide something? I can't confirm Mr. Rel's cause of death with his body positioned like this. Detective Bad, I would like to examine the bodies in further detail if possible. What's this? You not be able to form a theory with them the way they are? I believe an examination of the bodies is vital to finding the perfect evidence, don't you? I just suppose you do have a point. Well, hurry up and then get on with it. Labby. Yes, sir, we've taken enough photos of the scene, sir. And there you have it. Do you not approve? Of course not. Dunny? Investigation of the crime scene is the work of a detective, so don't touch a thing. Hey, big fella, turn over the bodies for you. Okay. Please forgive me, Mr. Faraday, sir. Gumshoe, do not get emotionally involved. Remember, you're a detective. Yes, sir. Understood, sir. Now the bodies are lined up. There's a gunshot wound over here. Shot in the chest. It takes some guts to fire a gun in the courthouse. I mean, I've been a detective for a whole week and I still haven't fired a single round yet. There aren't many burnt marks on his clothes. That must mean... Wait, burn marks? A round goes very hot when it's discharged from the firearm. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when the shot is fired from point-blank range. Fired from point... Oh shit, they died. Therefore, burn marks are usually left when the shot is fired from point-blank range. Ergo, Mr. Rao must have been shot at least a yard or two away. See, I'm getting caught up with the bad, time of my dialogue. You sure do know a bunch of neat stuff for your age, pal. Apparently, this detective stuff has a much common knowledge than your everyday marsupial. Looks like Mr. Faraday was stabbed with this knife that Mr. Rel's holding. Youch! What's wrong, detective? My stomach started to hurt from all this thinking about being stabbed. Just keep your mind on the case, alright? What's this? Something in his breast pocket. It's a fountain pen. Fountain pen? Hey, I always keep a pencil behind my ear. It's because Detective Bad is always telling me. You should always write your name on everything you own. Yes, somehow you do strike me as a forgetful individual. There's a knife wound on his chest here, sir. I wonder if the wound matches the knife Mr. Rell is holding. Labby. Yes, sir. Verify now, sir. Make it quick. From the looks of things, one could deduce that the knife Mr. Rell was holding is what killed Mr. Faraday. Let us now try to understand how the two men died. First, Mr. Faraday took the gun and the knife out from today's trial evidence, and then he aimed the gun at Mr. Rell and fired. However, Mr. Rell managed to grab the knife and encounter Mr. Faraday while being shot, and then the two fell down where they stood. And that is my theory, in any case. What a crazy way to go out. Still, something about that explanation just does not seem right with me. I believe I now have a firmer grasp of what happened here. Mr. Faraday isn't holding a gun in his right hand. That is the one Mr. Rell got blown away by, right? Labby, your answer. Yes, sir. We found that the ballistic markings do match that gun, sir. Well, ballistic markings are the figurative fingerprints a gun leaves on a bullet when fired. Every gun has its own unique ballistic markings. Therefore, by looking at the markings on the bullet, you can tell which gun it came from. Yeah, that's it. Of course I knew that already about that, pal. Maybe you'd be better off going back to the academy. Oh, come on, sir. Cut me some slack, will ya? So the bullet that was fired from his gun is what felt Mr. Rell. Why are there plastic bags scattered around? Those bags were for keeping evidence safe, pal. I know that much, detective. You sure are good at this stuff, aren't you, pal? Normally I'd be happy when someone compliments me, but when it's this guy. Anyway, could these plastic bags be evidence of a fight between the two men? This decorative plant's foliage is quite nice. It's actually suiting to be around it. Perhaps I should purchase one for my room. I think the most concerning part is definitely we're gonna have to compile two evidences together. I think that's the only thing left we have. Okay. Fountain pen, is it an ink stain? There we go. That splotch on Mr. Faraday's hand. I wonder if it's just might be the ink from his fountain pen. Oh, let's ask the lab guy. Detective Gumshoe, I confirm that the substance on Mr. Faraday's hand is ink from his fountain pen. I see, good work then. Oh, you know, I always wanted to say that, even if it was just one time in my life. Huh. If Mr. Faraday wrote with his fountain pen on his left hand, I think it's fair to assume that he was left-handed. It appears Mr. Faraday's pen is very poor. Oh yeah, why is the gun in his right hand? It makes no sense. Okay, if you say so, pal. Okay, that is a interesting point of view. I think we need a... Let me, at least... I think we have to connect shit again. Do we? It is kind of weird that... if he is, like, left-handed, his gun is on the left hand. Nope. Fuck me. I'm gonna load my way through this shit again. Because if anything, we're gonna be connecting evidence together. I feel like we're gonna have to, like, bring out some